Match 22 of the Big Bash, the Melbourne Renegades against the Sydney Thunder. Let's build our fantasy team on my 11th Circle Fantasy Pick on ESPNcricinfo. I'm Ronald Kapoor and Mike Hussey is all set to join me. Let's go to our pro tip, and it features some information about the venue. Now, both the games here at the Carrara Oval in Queensland have been relatively high-scoring ones, with batters freely able to express themselves. So, back a lot of stroke makers and top-order batters for this game. Does that make sense, Huss?
I like your thinking, but there's a spinner for the Sydney Thunder that I reckon you need to keep your eye on as well. Tanveer Sangha. He has been in unbelievable form recently. No matter who he's bowling to, whether it's Marcus Stoinis, Glenn Maxwell, Nicholas Pooran, he's been able to keep it tight and pick up wickets along the way. So, yes, I like your theory. Batsmen have been doing well at the venue, but he is one to watch, this young kid.
All right, I think there's a good chance we'll find room for Tanveer Sangha. And that's the fun of all these T20 leagues. They throw up these surprise players every season that catch our attention and our eye. Let's see where Tanveer Sangha would feature in our team. For that, let's go to some player availability news. James Pattinson and Marcus Harris, who are part of Australia's test squad, might be available to play, but there has been no official confirmation in that regard just yet. Of course, do check in closer to the toss in team news for the very latest before you pick your fantasy teams. Let's go to our team. Before that, a quick reminder on the My 11 Circle Fantasy app, 100 credits for every user to pick their fantasy team. 4 categories of players to choose from: batsmen, bowlers, wicket keepers, and all-rounder. Every player's individual credit value is listed on the app. You can pick a maximum of 7 players from one team in any given contest, and we'll throw in 4 substitute options for you towards the end of this video as well. Let's go to our top picks, and our captain choice is Shaun Marsh. Not for the first time and not for the last. Whenever his side play, we know that Shaun Marsh is someone we like to keep in our top calculations. And for the Renegades, we know that on a wicket with true pace and bounce like Queensland, Shaun Marsh is a great captain choice. He scored a couple of 60-plus scores this season already, and his last game was at the same venue where he managed a 48-ball 67. Vice-captain choice, Usman Khawaja. So 2 left-handers in our captain and vice-captain choices and 2 top-order batsmen. He's taken his own time to settle in this year's Big Bash. Scores of 34 of 18, 37 of 31 in his last 2 games against the Renegades. Pretty good record for Khawaja. He scored 244 runs in 7 games, averaging over 40. So Shaun Marsh is captain and Usman Khawaja is vice-captain. They give you double and 1.5 times the points respectively, so pick them very carefully. In our top picks, some more top-order bats. Alex Hales, Aaron Finch, they all feature. We know Hales is always a regular when the Thunder play. In splendid form this season, scores of 46, 35 and 71. That 29-ball 71 in the last game against the Melbourne Stars will be remembered for a very long time. Aaron Finch as well. He's not been his usual self. His high standards that we expect of the Australian white ball captain hasn't quite been seen in BBL 10, but he's managed to score 320-plus scores in 4 games so far. He's due a big one. We don't want you to miss out on the points when he gets there. Tanveer Sangha is there, the player that Mike Hussey first pointed out, and it's quite amazing amongst all these established, experienced top-order batsmen. In our top picks is one of the youngest players of the tournament. Now, he's been exceptional as Sangha, 9 wickets in 5 games, average of around 13, and the joint second leading wicket taker at this stage of the tournament. He was the leading wicket taker for Australia at the Under-19 World Cup, claiming 15 wickets. So he features amongst all those batters. Looking at our top picks, Shaun Marsh, Usman Khawaja, Alex Hales, Aaron Finch, and Tanveer Sangha. I just like the sound of that. Tanveer Sangha with all those names that precede him, Mike Hussey.
Yeah, there's some good names there. I think for your captaincy and vice-captaincy options here, it's very wide open. Your picks there of Khawaja and, sorry, what was the other one again?
Shaun Marsh as captain, yeah.
Shaun Marsh. Both conservative picks. They're very consistent players, but their strike rates don't get too out of control. So, yes, I think they're good bets because you'd expect one of them to get you a score. But I think there's some other candidates that should definitely be seriously considered here as well. You mentioned Aaron Finch. He's definitely due for a big one. I think he should be considered. Alex Hales, that last innings that he played, 71 off just 29 balls. He looks in amazing form. And so whenever he scores runs, he gets them really quickly. And then I don't think you should discount Daniel Sams either. Always seems to pick up a couple of wickets, can be dynamite at the back end of the innings with the bat. The Thunder like to inject him with the bat as well in a sort of the right time where he can do some damage too. So I think really have a look at the whole, both teams, and there's plenty of options here for captaincy and vice-captaincy.
All right, fair enough. So Mike Hussey, he says he likes his conservative picks before on our show. And said this time maybe consider the hard-hitting form of either Alex Hales or Aaron Finch. Let's go to our differential picks. Kane Richardson's there, the third highest wicket taker in all BBL cricket, 92 strikes, an average of just over 22. He's picked up 9 wickets for the Melbourne Renegades in 5 games so far at an average of 16.44 against Sydney Thunder. He's got 14 wickets in 10 games at an economy of just around 6. So Kane Richardson likes playing against Sydney Thunder. Oliver Davies is there as well. He's turned heads with his sensational hitting this season. 36 of 22 against the Scorchers, included 3 sixes. 48 of 23 against the Melbourne Renegades, included 5 sixes. He stonked established bowlers like Jason Berendorf, Fawad Ahmed and Mohammad Nabi. So Oliver Davies and Kane Richardson both feature in our differential picks. Looking at our full team, Sam Harper is our keeper recommendation. We've got Shaun Marsh as captain, Usman as vice captain. But Mike Hussey's pointed out maybe you could chance your arm with the likes of Aaron Finch and Alex Hales, who also feature in this team. Oliver Davies, Callum Ferguson, Daniel Sams, Mohammad Nabi, Kane Richardson, Tanveer Sangha round up our recommended 11. Our substitutes bench sees the likes of Imad Wasim, Peter Hadzoglu, Sam Harper and Ben Cutting. In an alternate scenario, we're saying one of either Peter Hadzoglu or Imad Wasim could replace Mohammad Nabi in the 11. I wonder what Mike Hussey makes of that, and any other thoughts that you have on this team, Huss?
Wow, yeah, that's a big call. Nabi's been a fantastic T20 player for a long period of time, and he's done well in the Big Bash. I know he's been tonked around a little bit and hasn't really got going just yet with a bat, but he's a quality player, so I'd be tempted to keep him in. Imad Wasim is a good player. I do like him. He'll keep it tight, but he doesn't seem to pick up a lot of wickets along the way either. So I think Ben Cutting, you've got to seriously consider him. He's often injected late in the innings for the Thunder and can go big, and he scores runs very, very quickly. So there's definitely some points. Can bowl a couple of handy overs. They seem to put him in the hot spots in the field as well. So he's bound to take a couple of catches. So I think you should seriously consider Ben Cutting into your team as well.
All right. Thank you very much to Michael Hussey. Plenty more coming from Huss as the Big Bash continues to roll on. Make sure you check in with latest team news, remember, after the toss and the playing 11s are confirmed to help you build a team with just players that are playing. We'll be back with plenty more stats, data, expert opinion and insight and analysis to help you pick your fantasy teams on My 11 Circle Fantasy Pick on ESPNcricinfo.